So I'll start by saying this story is old for me. I'm now married with 2 kids. However, it's still something I think about and something I need to get off my chest. It started pretty stereotypically. We'd been dating for 4 years. She'd always been a flirt and I'd always been pretty confident and secure. I'm not prone to being clingy. She admitted that she made out with her coworker, but that was all, and she was going to cut off communication with him. They flirting just went too far, she said. I forgave her and kept it moving. A few months later, she said she was going to hang out with some friends. She was spending a lot of time on looking good, and I told her before she left, please just come back tonight. Don't spend the night at your friends'. Of course, I woke up the next morning alone. Of course, I went to work, my dozen or so texts still unanswered. Eventually, I got a text with something to the extent of, I made a huge mistake last night, I didn't go home that night. Told her I was done. She cried and pleaded, but I had given her a second chance and she went and slept with that same coworker. Fool me once and all that. Eventually, I moved out and she started dating that coworker. They went deep into alcoholism and it wasn't until years later that she reached out to me. She'd gotten sober and just wanted to congratulate me on my upcoming wedding. At this point, I'd moved over 1,000 miles away. We chatted a bit and she told me she'd left that coworker and was getting her life back together. That's great, I said, and I mostly meant it. I'm the kind of person that once I love you, a part of me will always love you no matter what. And after years, the hurt mostly had gone away. I still hated that dude, but whatever. Anyway, about a year after that, around the time my first son was about to be born, she reached out again. That coworker was dying, some kind of ongoing complications due to an autoimmune disorder. A few days later, I saw she posted a thing on Facebook about his death and how devastated she was. Here's the messed up piece, I didn't really care. I wasn't vindicated, although I definitely had fantasized about him dying. I had no idea he was sick, just the nebulous rage of someone who'd been betrayed, and my ex crawling back to me. But then it happened, well, not the crawling back, but him dying. And I felt nothing, maybe a vague feeling of guilt, but nothing that would keep me up. And that fact, that I didn't really feel anything about it, did keep me up. I felt jaded and cavalier about this man's life. I know some PPL will immediately jump to you were wronged, he got what he deserved and all that, but honestly, the whole cheating thing was so distant by the time he died. I was a different person, with a different life, a wife, kids, and a future I'm very much still invested and extremely proud of. He didn't deserve to die, and also, I don't feel anything at all about it. Who knows, maybe this was me validating the pain I've gotten through, maybe being that distant also meant I wasn't going to care about him or her ever again, no matter what happened to them. Maybe we are all just ships passing in the night, and every once in a while you get lucky enough to share some time and affection with someone else. I don't know. What I do know is that if she hadn't have cheated on me, we'd probably still be together and I'd probably be infinitely less happy than I am now, with a wife who loves me and 2 boys I have the honor of raising into kind, thoughtful men. I don't have any moral to this story, but sometimes, late at night when I'm thinking about how my life could have gone, I think about that man she cheated on me with. I hope he was able to find some sense of purpose in his life before he died. She ruined my life, lied for 16 years, and ruined our family. Okay, 40M and 40F. I found out 8 months after we got married that my wife had several affairs before we had our child years ago. I knew something happened during that time period, but I never could get her to tell me the truth. We have been together for 23 years. She was 16, I was 18. So it is 2008, I knew something was wrong, and I was looking for what she was doing. Eventually I found a phone she was given by a dude and realized obviously she was cheating on me. The conversation went on forever, but ultimately she said we never met, we just texted and were doing sexting. I never truly believed her, but I wanted to. I spent time over the next 16 years talking about it, questioning it, and looking for the truth. At that time in 2007, we were engaged, we were living together and looking to have a family. Since I knew something was up, we never got married. I waited a long time until I became comfortable again, and I even got to the point I believed her enough to get married. So we got married in 22 foot. A few months after I spoke to the dude from 2008 and basically got some info to confirm my suspicion. So I confronted her and she admitted that she had an affair. We had issues after for about 15 months, working on the why, how, what caused the affair, and I basically wanted to understand her and why, so I could make a decision about my future and now my daughter's future. The entire 15 months ended up again, all being a lie. She lied about most of she shared. How did this happen? As we kept talking about THR affair, all the details changed, there was just too many issues. So she told me she would take a lie detector test to prove she was honest, loved me, was not lying, etc. Ended up that she wasn't just lying about this, but apparently she had several other affairs around the same time. She took the test to fail. She took it because she would not tell me the truth and thought she could fake the test. She failed, and since I was so skeptical, I asked a question like, "Have you slept with of people?" And when that question came up, she failed miserably. We had been together forever, so there was very few times in life we were not with each other. So I figured that was a quick and easy way to confirm any other issue, and I sure found out more. We have had a daughter. She is 15. Life has generally been normal and loving between us since all of this. Besides not knowing the truth, I was happy, invested in a good person. I hate the fact I now have to ruin my daughter's life because of what she did. It was long ago, but for me it's today. I could never be okay with someone who could lie so easily. I guess it just gets better over time. I used to work in a job that required visits to sites in Africa every few months. To compensate for the work and distance, the small team of us, usually myself, her, and one other, would get put up in all-inclusive 5-star hotels for the week or so we were there. She was in her mid-40s, a director of the company, beautiful, well-dressed, intelligent, formidable, married with kids. Typical white middle-class life. She was a force to be reckoned with at work, didn't take shit from anyone, but at the end of the day she would have a few glasses of wine and a laugh. She would also, after those few glasses of wine, start flirting with the staff and or other guests. She would take a different man to bed with her every night. I hope her husband isn't on here, but if he is, for years, every few months, she fucked a different man every night of every trip. Edit. I stated this as a comment but wanted to add it because I see so many of the same comments again that I want to save you all time. 1. I didn't tell him at the time primarily because I did not feel comfortable and confident that sticking my nose in would keep my job and prospects of progression safe. Plus, it's not like I ever had the opportunity. Also, as other comments have pointed out, I have no idea what their relationship dynamic is. 2. Since leaving that job, I have absolutely no means of contacting him. I've never met him. I don't even know his name. I have no idea about the details of their relationship, whether he knew about it or what was causing her to do it. She has an almost non-existent digital footprint. It would take a lot of effort to track him down. But more importantly, I work in a very small professional world and I still feel I would be risking my career by getting a reputation for getting involved in what isn't my business. If anyone wants to say I'm in the wrong or should care more or that I'm a coward, then fine, go ahead, it's a free country, but I won't put myself in that position as I see it totally unnecessarily.